I first heard of Alexio, I think around early 2000 when the song Amai was released. Of course, it was released under the name Guess, I think. And, but later on, I got to discover that the guy who was doing the lead vocals was Alexio Kawara. So I had never met him in person. Then I think around 2003, 2004, I visited the studio in Warren Park, which was run by Gezi, Philemon Gezi. That's when I first met Alexio. It was a small studio in a bedroom, and there was a very small booth, and Alexio was coming out from that very small booth. So that's when I was introduced to this is Alexio Kawara. So after that, I don't remember where we linked up. I remember I met him somewhere after that, and I told him that I had bought a studio equipment, or I was building a studio equipment, and I was recording my first album, and I needed help with the vocals because I'm not a very good vocalist. So he offered to help for free. So he came and we did one song called Tatenda, and that was the first album that I recorded in my studio. It was sort of like the prototype, the album that I was using to test my sound. And the song Tatenda was released, and it got very good airplay, and that's when we started developing a relationship with Alexio. So after that, we were discussing with him, talking about changing his sound from what they used to call urban grooves to something that was that used live instruments and so forth. That's when we decided to do his next album with me, or I can say most of the songs on the album. So 2007 is when I started operating my studio fully. That's when we started working on his album called Kana, and produced a number of songs on the album. I think the majority of the songs on the album, and that's when he moved from the digital sound to the live sound. And as I told him before, his voice sounded very mature, and it would be nicer if he played with a mature instrumentation. That's how I started working with him. That was 2000. I started working with him 2006 on my own album, but then from 2007 I started working with him on his own music. Then 2009, I think it was 2009, he was doing another album. I've forgotten the name of the album, and I also did a number of tracks on the album, and that's when our relationship was solidified, and we kept on doing works here and there. And I'm always a regular at his gigs because I like how he performs with his band. He's one artist who has maintained his band, and usually such bands they are known to be very tight when it comes to combination, and that's one thing I value very much. So I'm also a fan on the other end.